Well, do you support the call by the Senate to have the recent electricity tariff reversed? Well, reach out to yours truly through any of our platforms on your screen and let's know your position on the matter. Now, let's bring you some of the oversight visits by federal lawmakers as well as some other meetings that held this week. The Senate has summoned construction firm Julius Berger to explain the poor handling of work on the permanent site of the Vice President's residence. The chairman, Senate Committee on Federal Capital Territory, Senator Dino Melaye, gave the directive during an oversight inspection of the uncompleted residence of the Vice President, as well as other construction work in the capital city. Senator Melaye expressed dissatisfaction with the level of work done on the residence and also voiced his displeasure over what he says is a high cost for the construction of a new 3-bedroom flat for the ADC to the Vice President.
The initial award was 55 million, but now they varied it and it's now costing taxpayers, commoners, Nigerian government, 275 million. Then not only that, it is also good for us to note that the initial contractor for the building of the Vice President's residence was awarded at 7,665,742,140 kobo. So in essence, it was awarded at approximately 7 billion. As I speak to you, sir, up to date, releases made 6,270,910,184.9 kobo. So in essence, over 80% of the award have been released. Yet, this is what you can see, sir. If you try to put it in percentage, 88.7% have been paid on this residence, and not up to 50% work have been done here.
And in the face of dwindling revenue in the country, Senate President Bukola Saraki is advocating that government should prioritize its projects scattered across the country and allocate funds to the most important ones. Speaking during an inspection tour of the permanent site of the National Institute for Legislative Studies in Abuja, Senator Saraki said although the challenge of inadequate funds has slowed down the project, the National Assembly would look for the most practicable strategy to ensure that the project is completed. It will be recalled, construction work on the National Institute for Legislative Studies had been suspended in 2015 because of inadequate funds.
It is a good project. The issue now is funds and priority. Is this a priority? Should this be a priority? What should be a priority? Those are the issues that we can't decide here. We need to go back and say, like many things, there are many good projects around the country. The question is for us to prioritize based on what we have. That we need it, I guess we do need it. Can we ever afford it? We've got to look at that. Yeah.
During the week, the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, met with the Conference of Speakers of State Legislatures, where he urged the State Houses of Assembly to prepare to expedite action on the passage of amendments to the 1999 Constitution. Dr. Saraki observed that the 7th Assembly has already done a lot of work on the document, which will make the new exercise easier. The chairman of the Conference of Speakers urged the National Assembly to consider financial autonomy for state legislatures and devolution of powers in the Constitution review exercise.
We believe that there are great amendments proposed in this exercise, which, if implemented, would go a long way to make our country greater. Some of them are the financial autonomy for state assemblies, devolution of powers, and the many other great proposed amendments. We want to assure you that we are going to work with you to accomplish the objective of this noble exercise.
In the 7th National Assembly, I believe that we have done our part. But unfortunately, politics and some other issues got the better of it. I think this time around, as I said when I inaugurated the committee in the Senate, a lot of good work has already been done in the 7th National Assembly. We want to ensure that we review it and have the document ready so it can go to the states. My message to you is that when it gets to the states, please as well also be quick to treat it. And in the past too, you have been, and I hope this time around you will be faster, because there are many things there that I'm sure you want. And the things that are there in the 7th National Assembly, I'm pretty sure that in the 8th National Assembly, I'm sure it will stay intact in the document, and so that you can also ensure that you can quickly review it and have it sent to us.
In another meeting, this time with some British parliamentarians, the Senate President said the National Assembly is reviewing the nation's laws to improve the Nigerian business environment. Senator Saraki said some of the laws need to be updated and reflect the reality of present-day Nigeria. Senator Saraki is also hoping that the 8th National Assembly will conclude work on the Petroleum Industry Bill.
We're looking at improving the business environment. We already started doing some work seeing how we can review some of our laws. Some of our laws are actually outdated. They have never been reviewed since they were passed. And do they create an enabling business environment for investors to come in? Probably not. But what we're doing now, we've done a study, and we hope to come up with different reforms in different sectors where private sector can participate more, because the infrastructure deficit can be funded by government alone. So how do we get the private sector to come in? So we're working very hard to look at some of the laws and see how we can do it. We hope that we'll be the first National Assembly to break the jinx on the PIB, which has been there for over decades now, which has been an hindrance to progress in the petroleum sector. We're very confident that it will be under this National Assembly that we will pass. And I think that will send a good signal to the business community that truly that we have a parliament now that is really focused on what we need to do. I think largely the issues here really is be able to sell a good story, as I don't remember said. And I think that what we need to do more is improve relationships, but even especially at the parliamentary level, because I'm sure as parliament members you get different stories, but sometimes negative stories about coming to do business in Nigeria. And how do we get across the right story? And I think there's need for more informal relationships, where there are actual relationships between members of parliament on both sides, where at a very short communication channel, we can address issues that come up.
The Ooni of Ife has appealed to the Senate President to take steps towards making provision and guiding the interests of youths in the country. The paramount ruler made this appeal during a meeting with the Senate President in Abuja. The Ooni of Ife said it is time for leaders at all levels to rekindle the hope of youths in the country by making them comfortable in their pursuits.
I always preach positivity in everything that I do. I should focus on the good sides of things in life, irrespective of any situation you find yourself. It is one nation, it is one Nigeria, irrespective of you from the north or from the south. Our peaceful coexistence is of paramount to us, and youth empowerment. I'm here today speaking on behalf of the entire youth of the country, and for us to join hands together in order to make progress in this country. I am very grateful to you today for accepting and honoring us this evening. God will bless you. Please keep making us proud. Things that are supposed to be done appropriately in terms of making provision and guarding interest of the youth. Please work towards that.